Okay, so I have my brothers and a sister from Liberia and Sierra Leone in the studios today. You know, Ghana is actually expecting the final verdict on the Supreme Court election petition that is due tomorrow. We don't know what the emotions of Ghanaians would be. And my producer tells me that you were here to share your experiences. You came for a conference, if I should say, actually, you know, psyching the youth about peace, the need for peace, and the campaign here. I want you to introduce yourself. You are...
I'm Thomas Balu. I work for... Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm Thomas Balu. I work for a youth organization in Liberia called the African Child Peace Initiative.
Okay. You're Thomas Balu. And you are?
Daniel Silla from Sierra Leone.
Okay.
And representing the Young Leaders Sierra Leone Network.
Okay. And?
I'm Inata Kuruma from Liberia. From Liberia. I also work for a youth organization in Liberia called SADA.
Okay.
That is Students Against Destructive Actions and Decisions.
Okay, perfectly. So I have actually not experienced any kind of form of anarchy, disorder, or if I should say any violent kind of act in my days of life. I don't know how old you are, but I don't know.
I'm 27.
You're 27, so I'm sure you were part of the whole process where there was conflict in your country.
Yeah.
Can you share your experience there for a person like you? What did you go to?
I know in Liberia, I remember during our conflict, I had to run, pass through a lot of forests, pass through bushes, and years in another country because I lived in Ivory Coast for years before moving on to Ghana, and I also lived here in Ghana for about 3 to 4 years before I moved back to Liberia. So it's a kind of experience, especially leaving your home country and starting as a refugee in a new environment and then getting to make new friends, leaving your family behind, so all sort of, experiences, especially.
Can I call you Thomas?
Yeah, Thomas.
Okay, Thomas, you walk through bushes and forests.
Yeah, sure.
You just have to walk through. You just have to. What were you running away from?
Running away, meaning from death, because you have arms and ammunition flying over the head, and I had to walk. I can remember I was small, but we walked like more than 3 days before we get to the border to cross over to the Ivory Coast. And then from the border, because there was war across the border, we couldn't get a car again. We had to walk to another nearby town for like a day and a half. So it's a kind of...
What were you feeding on in all these times? What were you feeding on?
Serious pain and despair, seriously, because I was kind of confused. Why are we moving, leaving everything that we have, our village, because we were separated, in fact, from my father. I was separated from my father and running away, leaving other family members and my brothers and sisters. So there was kind of confusion then in my mind.
Yeah. I mean, in your own discretion, I'm startled actually by what you're saying. But in your own discretion, I'm asking, when all these things were happening for you as a person, seeing dead bodies around, I mean, seeing people being shot, and all that, how were you feeling then? You were thinking that could people be this wicked?
Yeah, I couldn't imagine, really. I couldn't imagine, because I remember also passing, there was a person who was mutilated. The person, like the entire mouth, the skin on the teeth were removed, and the hand was cut off, and really it was kind of serious psychological impact on me. I couldn't imagine that people could do that to their.
And all this happened in Liberia, Monrovia?
No, not in Monrovia.
No, in Monrovia.
In the rural area.
Yeah. Daniel, you are from Sierra Leone.
Yes,
just
please.
Freetown, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really know what actually happened in your time. So if you can share with us your time, why is it that you do not wish for the Ghanaian youth to actually go to what you also went through?
Yes, because the experiences were bitter, and for a model of democracy in West Africa, it is very much important that you hold on to the fort, as a distinguished upholder of the tenets of democracy. I am referring to Ghana. I was born in the mid-80s, and we had our own war starting in 1991 due to bad governance, one-party system, and the disagreement among political actors for a change However, the war continued till 2002 when it officially ended. And our experiences had been one of the most terrible in the world. Arms and feet were amputated at different levels. Even a baby of 2 years, her arms and limbs were amputated. It was not only that. Pregnant women, they will tear their belly to see whether the baby was a male or a female. Atrocities were committed beyond human imagination. Massive destruction of lives and property across the country, giving rise to the intervention of the United Nations and ECOMOG. And may I, on behalf of the government and people of Sierra Leone, extend our sincere appreciation to the Ghanaian people and government for the timely intervention and for the sincere and genuine brotherly, love they showed to us by being the second largest contingent of ECOMOG after Nigeria, and we appreciate that so much. But the point I'm trying to hammer home is that we cannot, at this time of our democracy in Ghana, I refer to us as we because I have seen Ghana as my second home.
Exactly.
Now. You are so warm and hospitable. Okay, so we cannot resort to reducing ourselves to political puppets anymore. We have seen that violence and anarchy cannot be the best resort. There are better channels through which we can hammer home some of our grievances.
Daniel, I don't really know. You can still picture all these things happening. You can still picture. Do you have dreams about them? Does it still bother you that you could not really live in your country to actually enjoy, as a person would always like? Everybody would like to be in their country because they say there is no place like home.
Yes.
How do you feel as a person that you can recall all these images? Like you said, a pregnant woman, 2-year-old baby being mutilated. How does it feel for you as a person?
Yes, I feel very much emotional whenever I think about the war in Sierra Leone. And if I were not strong enough, I'll let tears. I'll really shed tears. But the point I'd like to say is that we were made in such a unique way that our war was not in any way centered around border issues. Neither was it religious. Those were very important issues that will have kept on the war, and even after the war will have ended, the stigmatization and discrimination will have continued. But interestingly, after South Africa, Sierra Leone has been the only country that had instituted the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, where frank and honest deliberations were made, and apologies were, made to by the perpetrators to the victims, apologizing for their wrongdoings and so on. And we had the thought to have forgiven each other so easily. But most importantly, the setting up of the special court for Sierra Leone also, had been one of the major reasons why we thought people would not do things with impunity and go, right? Mm-hmm. So we thought that was also good. The major actors, those who bear the greatest responsibility, were charged.
Okay.
Many of whom have been charged and found guilty, and a few others like Charles Taylor, his case is still on and it's pending judgment.
Okay, Miss or Mrs. Madam. Okay.
Megs.
Okay, Miss Miss Aminata, right?
Yes.
You are from Liberia.
Yes, I'm from Liberia.
Monrovia.
Yes. Monrovia.
Okay. Was it the same in Monrovia, or was it quite different? Is it the same kind of trauma that you went in compared to what Thomas actually went through?
Yes, there were a lot of trauma because we went from one place to another, bullets flying all over. Even they had a place that they call Greystone in Liberia. This is a very wild place. And then people went near the American embassy. There were a lot of bullets coming, flying. Even we decided that, since this is a very wild place, let us build a little huts, the Palawa huts and things. People UN gave to us and we had to build them. But then you will be in that place and one big rocket will just come and fall and everybody will die. Some people will get very badly wounded until they will not even survive. Yeah. This happened in Liberia. And then we had to walk from one place to another, very confused. Sometimes you not even know where you are going. Yes, you just continue to go because you see the crowd going. So you just go.
What did you carry as a person? What did you carry with you? What did you take?
You don't even have chance to take anything. You just leave. Sometimes you even in the bathroom and then you hear a sound. You come out that way. Just started going. You see, walking in dirty water in swamps. Some people have load on their hair. Some people, babies falling down from their back, dropping in swamps and things. They are not even able to bend down to take them.
What are you grateful for as a person? What do you really thank God for right now?
Yeah, I thank God for peace now in Liberia. That we also have a female and president now in Liberia. I very thank God. And at that time, UN came. We had peace, and now we are enjoying the peace in Liberia. I thank God for that. So I also heard that like in Ghana tomorrow will be a verdict.
Yeah.
So I just want to urge Ghanaians to please don't be like us, because we have very bad governance. They shouldn't be like us. Let them be peaceful. Whatsoever result that may come out, I urge that they will just take it, just accept, and don't go into chaos that will lead to war, because it's very bad.
Yeah.
You see?
Because you never knew.
I never knew.
Knew.
It's very bad, yes.
Thomas, I don't know. You said you lived in Ghana for 3 years.
Yeah.
When you look at the atmosphere of Ghana, you expect that same peace should continue, and you do not want to see any kind of disorder. I don't know whether it's the same. Do you feel that way?
I think it's very interesting that at this period, and you are giving us the opportunity, especially me, to be able to talk out there for some Ghanaian friends and other organizations that the young people we care, Young Peace Brigade organizations that I have worked with in the past, in Ghana, to work with their other stakeholders and other young persons, to ensure, that the Ghana that we all have seen and we continue to yearn for, is going to remain as it is and progress instead of going backward. Because I know the period of time that I live here in Ghana, I know the kind of changes, the kind of political, struggles, that have happened, and what others expected to have happened during those periods, did not happen. And I'm quite confident, that there is a great prospect, that nothing will happen, as far as this verdict is concerned. And I still want to keep encouraging other people, to uphold the kind of Ghana that we all look at in the region. Ghana is not only just for Ghanaians, but for us who work at the grassroots level in Liberia with young people, in terms of issues that have to do with peace and security, violence around election areas, election periods. We make reference to Ghanaian elections, the recent elections, and the kind of way that people conduct themselves after elections. So it's very, very much important for us to look at ourselves, Ghanaians, as role model in the region. So that is my encouragement.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much, Thomas. But Daniel, I hear you are into the media in your country.
Yeah.
You're a journalist person.
Yes.
And how does your platforms look like? Is it that some politicians are allowed to say whatever they want to say? Because clearly in our country, sometimes some political commentators go on platforms like the radios and the TVs, and their utterances, what they say, does not really sell well to the people out there. So there is a conflict of interest, and people do not know what to accept and do not know what to actually say, because at this point in time, this is a material moment for every Ghanaian right now. We are just not even 24 hours away. We are just some few hours away from the Supreme Court actually giving the final verdict, and there are mixed feelings. I don't know what your country is like whenever it comes to politics.
Yes, I presume it is very similar in every other country, especially in West Africa. It's very common that whenever tensions are mounting, especially on such occasions, you'll find out that the media becomes the most influential tool in determining either the position of the stakeholders, in this case the politician, and on the other hand the general populace. So we as media practitioners, first of all, have to be highly professional in dispensing our responsibility. On the other hand, we have to ensure that we create a level playing field for every view and opinion to be expressed equitably. Okay. But you will find out that many a times when politicians do make these high-flown promises, they don't live up to the expectation. And they tend to raise the expectation of the people. And at such time, as I was discussing with a civil society activist in Ghana today, just the arrest of one person, right, can cause a chaos in the entire Ghana, depending on maybe how the police handles the case, right? So every actor in this political system at this very crucial moment is very, 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 very important, because whatever decision they make or take can affect Ghana as a whole. But I repeat, the media, just as in Sierra Leone, you know, I presume you are given the free hand to operate here.
Not really.
Not really. We in Sierra Leone, everybody has the right to say whatever you want to say.
But you have to be very mindful.
You have to be very mindful.
Yeah.
We also have an issue at hand, which is the libel law. There's what we call the Part 5 of the 1965 Public Order Act that criminalizes libel. And we also have a project at hand, which is to pressure the government to pass the Freedom of Information Act, which can limit the extent to which libel is committed. You know, but generally, everybody can express his or her opinion in Sierra Leone freely.
Okay, I'm looking at the programs that you came to do in Ghana, and I see some tips that you considered: organization, elections, and the youth. Why are you so much concerned about the youth?
The young people are not future leaders anymore. We are partners in waiting and partners in development. So if we cannot concentrate on the young people, in fact, the very rich people, the aged people, when it is election time, even at this time, they'll stay at home. And even if you want to buy bread, they'll send you and I that are young. So if should violence erupt, we are going to suffer. How much more when we are the major political actors? How do I say this? We are those the politicians use to campaign. In Sierra Leone, they'll give you drugs, cannabis, alcohol, and so on. And by the time you realize that you had been misused by the politician, oh my God, it is too late. And the next minute, they don't know you. They'll tell you, I'm a peaceful leader, but I have not sent you to erupt into violence. So we are the major players. We are the major players. It's very important.
Miss Aminata, sorry.
Yes.
I don't know whether you've lost any of your family members. Have you tried to contact some family members that you lost? I mean, in those kind of times, do you even get the time to actually get in touch with any of your relatives?
You don't even have those communication centers open.
You do not even have hope.
No, I do not even have hope to even communicate back, because there is no communication centers being open. So it's just very difficult for you to even communicate.
Do you still look back and cry? Do you look back and cry over everything that actually happened in Liberia?
Yes, I really regret.
You regret?
Yes.
What do you regret?
I regret about the war that took place. It shouldn't have been so, because it carried most of the youth backward. Most people, it carried them backward. Educationally, socially, it carried them backward seriously in Liberia.
As of now, you can say that you have full power in your president.
Of course, yes.
Because what have you seen so far in her?
Yeah, I see a democratic way of life in Liberia now, because people have freedom to speak whatsoever. You speak your mind, whatsoever is bothering you, you speak it out, and then it will go through the media, then your voice can be heard.
Did you live in Ghana for a while?
No, I haven't done so.
You haven't.
I haven't.
I was going to ask you. You lived in Ghana for 3 years. You would like to go back to Liberia and settle?
Yeah.
That's Thomas, right?
Yeah, I'm actually now settled in Liberia since 2006, but
Since
I've been
2006.
coming back to Ghana because my work, cover the West African region.
Okay.
So there are a lot of partners in Ghana
All right.
we're working with in terms of peace building and youth capacity building. So I'm always here in Ghana.
Okay, in
And
just a minute, say something to the youth and also to the Ghanaian people out there who are listening to you at this moment. And this platform is just not only for country Ghana, but it's also in the diaspora.
Yeah.
So there are Ghanaian citizens listening to us in Australia, in London, in America, and also around the world. So I'm
Yeah.
giving you just a minute, and I'll come to Daniel and I'll come to Mr. Minata. And I believe that you are going to say something to actually boost the heart of the Ghanaian youth and also the minds of the Ghanaian public.
Yeah, one of the key things that I'm going to say is that we as young people, especially young leaders that are working in the civil society, in the grassroots organizations, we have a key role to play in ensuring that the results that come out of this period that we are in, becomes positive by all means, because we are role models in our communities, in our homes. Some of us, our parents are not literate, and they depend on us to make decisions. So we have to ensure that our reactions to whatever is going to be the result should be something that will be positive in that, looking forward to the future and the betterment of Ghana. And as far as I'm concerned, the region, because once Ghana is better, there will be a better region. And whatever happened in this borderline affect other countries.
Okay.
And also other Ghanaians who are in a diaspora. Your families back home depends on you. You are not going to live in America, in Europe, in Germany forever. You have a home that you always want to come back to, and you have to call now and tell your family, tell your friends that this is our hope, this is our future. So let us ensure that whatever action we're going to take is going to be in the best interest of Ghana.
Okay, Daniel, did you also get to queue for food by the UN? Did you?
Yes.
You did?
Yes, indeed.
And was it enough? Was it a 3-square meal?
No. we barely managed to get 001 or 101. Or
And what does that really mean? Because I don't really understand.
It's a logical analogy
Okay.
of the format, the manner in which the food come. The 0 represents nothing in the morning, 1 just 1 meal in the afternoon, and 0 again at night.
That means
The rest
you do
drink
not
water.
have breakfast. You take lunch, but you don't take
no
supper.
breakfast, lunch, and no dinner.
Okay.
Or maybe if 001, no breakfast, no lunch,
but
if it's
dinner.
in the evening that's available,
Okay.
you go WFP will bring bulgur, corn flour meal, and so on. You cook, drink water,
Okay.
sleep.
So give us your message.
Ghanaians, much is expected of you. We have so much respect for you. When it is matters of electionary processes and the upholding of the tenets of democracy in West Africa and Africa as a whole, Ghana is considered a role model. In the past few elections, Sierra Leone and Ghana have been accredited by the UN, America, DFID, and so on, as one of the best elections ever to be conducted. Right? So much is expected of you. Keep the faith and stay out of violence. Youth, stay out of violence, and the future of Ghana will be bright for all of us.
Okay.
Thank you very much, and God bless us all.
God bless you too, Daniel. Miss Aminata, you're a woman, so you speak to the ladies out there. You speak to the women out there, because a lot of times some women think they are vulnerable. In anything that happens, they just have to fall victim to it. But I want you to strengthen some ladies out there that they can also do it, because you did it.
Yes.
And I believe that they can also do same if they hear it coming from a fellow woman. So tell us your message there.
Yes, I want to encourage the ladies, the women, get involved in things, participate. Your voice, your voices will be heard. Like in Liberia, you can make it, ladies. In Liberia, we have a female president, and she did it. She tried by all means, and yes, today she is the president of Liberia. And if I can be opportune today by my organization to come to Ghana today, which country now we use as one of our role model, ladies, I believe that you can do it. You can make it. So please, stay out of violence. Make your voices be heard. Come together and work as a team so that you will forge ahead.
Okay, thank you. And Miss Aminata is saying, don't use violence, use your voice. And I am told that it was by kind courtesy Miss Farida Abubakari who brought our panelists in. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thomas Balu, what?
Yeah,
Balu.
Balu.
Yeah, Balu. Thomas Balu is from Liberia, and Daniel Silla is also from Sierra Leone, and Miss Aminata Koma is from Liberia. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And you, Miss Farida, you made this possible. So tell us how you came about.
Yeah, it's a conference we are having is Uniting African Youth for Peace Building Training. I think that we are all peace ambassadors, but we are now being equipped with the current methodology in resolving conflict. And I think that randomly it was selected Benin, Liberia, Niger, Sierra Leone, and Ghana. So my organization, the Young Peace Brigade, we are hosting as the local organizers, and our bigger organizers are the UNOI, that is the United Network of Young Peace Builders. And I think that is why they are here. By the time we leave here, I think young people will be equipped with the current methods of conflict resolution. And I use this opportunity to say we have less than 24 hours for the verdicts to be given. For me and my political party, anytime we meet, we are being told whether the verdict is for or against, we will stand by it. So the opportunity we even had to take something to court is even something. For Ghanaians to even be patient enough to have 5 months for the process to go on is something that is marvelous. I don't think that we will be willing to go through our borders. We are surrounded by 3 francophone countries. The only savior might be the Atlantic Ocean, and that will be the survivor of the fittest, those who can be able to swim. So I think that those listening to me, especially women who have been taken as vulnerables, and the young people, I believe we are not a vulnerable group. Just as Aminata said, let us use our voices to demonstrate our kind of patriotism towards our nation. So the verdict will be read. Let us keep together that the youth, we are the leaders of this country, not the future leaders, but we are the leaders of this country. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you so much, Miss Farida Abubakar. She is communication member of the MPP, and she brought together the Youth for Peace Building. Marie by Ben Bracco is 35 minutes past the hour 5. Today, how are you doing, Ghana? Has eaten into Highway Express. My producers for the show today was Sichope Anko and Prince Ayim Brown. The technical man is Emmanuel Kojo-Yabua, and myself, my name still remains Smart Techi Nixon. You can call me Nana Kweku. Salute, shalom, and we shall enjoy the peace that our Father Dr. Kwame Nkrumah and the peace that our Savior Jesus Christ left for us. I have saluted. Ghana will stand. Ghana will fight. Freedom and justice is what this country is built on. Have a great evening.